are we this Tidy Up Tuesday? Are you guys ready? This is a big one. Okay, this is a big one because boy, isn't having pictures and getting our pictures organized and figured out a big part of tidying up our rooms, our craft rooms, our craft spaces. And as I was going through doing things in my own space, trying to get my own self organized, I thought, let's take you guys on the ride with me. So today is going to be a little different. We are going to just get into the trenches and talk once again about photo organization and this beast right here, this big old bad boy, the Epson Fast Photo Scanner. I decided not even to open it. We're gonna do a box opening. We're gonna show you everything, start to finish, because my goal when I was thinking about this video, and streaming and giving you this content, my goal really is to have a resource for you to come back to and look at and go, what did she do? And how do you get that set up and all that good stuff? So before we jump in, I just want to say a great big hello. Thank you all for joining in the fun today. And it's so good to see you, Carolyn, Lisa, Jean Marie, and she says she can't hear, but that might be your volume. So you might want to find the volume on your device, because I think my feedback is showing that I'm doing okay. So, all right. So Maria's here. Diane is here. She got it. Okay. Carla, Terry. So thank you all. And thank you all for the awesome thumbs up. That just means so much to me when you do that. I truly appreciate it. That's the feedback that I need in order to, just kind of keep the happiness going, keep all the good vibes going. So thank you for that. Okay. So as I mentioned today, we're going to kind of do two things. We're going to go back into a little bit about photo organization, and then we're going to jump in and actually get that scanner unboxed and set up. So I'm warning you now, I've never done anything like this before. So if I hope cross your fingers that will, I'll be able to show you all the, details and all the behind the scenes, like how to, download the software and so on and so forth. So hopefully that will all work. So, let's do it together. So I'm just saying, there might be some glitches, but it's live. We're here live. We're doing it. And I didn't want to do it without you. So we're going to jump in. Okay. Before we get started though, I do want to do a little bit, couple things. One, whoops, let's see. I have to point that way. That's weird. I've got, okay, here, this, I don't know, that. I can't point to it the right way. It's got to be this. Oh, there we go. There. Free shipping, my friends. Free shipping from Creative Memories on orders of $80 or more. So what does this mean to you? If you love Creative Memories products, this is an amazing opportunity to save on all your shipping fees. And that's a minimum of $8.95 per order. And that goes, on up. So just make sure that if you have some things in your cart, don't delay, get those free shipping. Plus there's beautiful new collections that came out. And as always, if you don't have a Creative Memories advisor, I'd love to be your Creative Memories advisor. And you can find my links. You can always just look for Lauren Hines as your advisor also. And if you want to find me other places, I know I've got some of you from Facebook and some of you from YouTube. You can find me. This is where you can shop with me. User Lauren Hines at Creative Memories. But I'm also on Instagram, and that's where I like to post some of my still shots of layouts and ideas and things like that. And one of my most requested links, I'll have to say, is right down there at the bottom, which is my Amazon shop. Amazon.com/shop craft some joy. You cannot search on Amazon for craft some joy. It doesn't come up with anything because it thinks you're looking for a product. But the link is always available on these video streams. So on Facebook, it's above the video, and on YouTube, it's in the description below the video. Just click that little more button, and then you can find my links. So today, as I said, we're going to talk about the scanner. And whenever I have different things in my room, that's where it's my clearinghouse of putting all that good stuff for you. Okay. So one other little bit, I just was so excited. If you have not joined my Progress on Projects Facebook group, it's the POP, Projects on Projects, POP, my popettes, my pop stars. You guys know who you are. That's what we're going to talk about today. POP, some photo organization. That Facebook group really is devoted to helping you get a framework for how do you just, decide on the best use of your time. How do you decide on what projects you should be working on? We have forums there. We have all kinds of different stuff in that group. And the most amazing thing is that we have resources. We have each other. And whenever somebody asks a question, you will get some amazing responses. And that's what I love. Mary Smith, my dear friend, is the one who helps me moderate that group. So if I don't get to answer a question, Mary is right there as well. Plus, as I said, your whole community. Now, why is this important? Because the next thing I'm going to show you are some amazing posts that this community has done. If you remember, last week we talked about peg walls. Woohoo! So I got to share my peg wall with you, which is actually in front of me now. And then I asked this amazing community to share some photos of their spaces and how they use peg walls. So you guys want to see? Because it's pretty cool. So I'm going to share some photos. This is Sue Floyd's room. Okay, now, are we drooling yet, you guys? Okay, so Sue mentioned that this was like a custom-made crafting armoire that she had made when she was in the nursing field. And this is what I love about Sue's space is that she plans ahead. Do you guys see all those empty slots for punches and border cartridges? Okay, she's a girl after my own heart. I know I got to have some space to put some of these other things that I'm going to want to buy in the future. So, and then you can see her armoire opens up, and those are kind of, they look like slat walls, but they're, same idea as a peg wall. Love, love, love how organized Sue is. And wouldn't you dream about a space like this? I mean, wow, amazing. And let me tell you, Sue is a scrapbooker. She really has it going on, you guys. And thank you for saying hello. Oh, my sweet Kylie's here from Australia. We've got some fun planned for National Scrapbook Day, don't we, Kylie? Oh my gosh, we had a fun little chat. Okay, let me show you another one. Here is Angela's cart. Now, I had to pull this one, even though she's like, it's still a work in progress. But I wanted to share. It's like, oh, she combined the best of both worlds. Pegboard and carts. You guys know how I love my carts or trolleys. And wow, that was such a great idea. Just put a peg wall, some pegboards on a cart. I love it. And Laura Ann said, she's kind of got her room already situated, but she had an idea of adding hooks to her wall. So same idea as a peg wall, just using these awesome hooks. And she's got that all within her reach in her craft room. Pretty cool. All right, let's take a look. Linda's DH. Do you guys know what DH means? I love it when we do these little acronym. What would you call? Dear husband. Her dear husband made this for her. Don't we all wish we had a DH like Linda? Beautiful framed in pegboard, and look at how organized, and she's got everything with a place. And you know, just a place for everything. So awesome with the baskets and then all the little hooks for her scissors. So, isn't that fun? I love it. Thanks. Thank you all for sharing these fabulous photos. We've got also Ramona's craft space, which is pretty cool. Look at all of her um, drawers and cubbies and her spaces for punches. And then she's got kind of an interesting setup where she has a peg wall and then a shelf and then peg wall and then a shelf above it. So that's kind of breaking up that space. I love it. Deborah also was posted hers that she had it from IKEA. And I saw this kind of theme a lot. A lot of folks, I think we all like we like seeing our custom cutting system hanging on the wall, don't we? So that was kind of fun to see Ramona. And then also Sarah did the same thing. She did her custom cutting system setup right there. And I love how she even put her circle maker. Do you guys see the peg? And she just slid her circle cutter right there on a peg as well. And Denise did one as well for her space. These Denise's, I think, is also from IKEA. Whenever you see those white cups, that's kind of my little tip off. That's one from IKEA. But I love that some of those trays hold the envelope maker, right? The envelope maker, the circle maker. It looks like she's got her labeling, her custom cutting system, her border maker system, her trimmer, everything. It's like all there. Don't you love it? I love it. So, one last little tidbit. So I've been doing a lot in my own room. And since this is all about organizing, tidying up, I wanted to share these awesome. So thank you all for posting these. And remember, you can see these in the Pop Facebook group. They'll always be there. Angela, you just missed your post, my friend. Okay, so just you're going to have to catch the replay and see that. But I did want to share one thing that I did over the weekend that I discovered that I was so excited about. What fits in a Kallax cube? So I had been overwhelmed again, like all these photos. This is, you know, kind of my thing right now, why we're talking about organizing photos. We're going to scan photos, boxes and boxes of photos that I need to handle. And so I decided I had them all on this bookcase that was not even in my craft room. And I said, what can I do? How can I reorganize? And there's some more I'm going to share with you a little later on where I've, started storing some of my photos. But you guys, I just figured out the 2 power sort boxes. And one of the small pods fits in a Kallax cube so perfectly. Do you guys see? There's like not any room to spare. And so my Kallax cubes are for my kind of ongoing, my kids and my projects that I'm working on right now. And finding this out so I can stack those 2 power sort boxes, one on top of each other, and then one of the small pods. I know, yes, the small pods are coming back in June, I believe. I do have some in my shop that I got before they were gone, if you're, kind of dying. But also those power sort boxes, remember, free shipping on 80. So if you don't have some of these to help you organize your photos, a great time to get it with the free shipping offer. Okay, so love the idea. Whenever I have like these perfect fits, I just have to share that with you guys because, when else do we get a chance to see how perfectly that looks, right? Okay, so what are we going to do? Let me come back here and let me just, once again, we're going to come right back and talk about scanning and organizing photos. So as usual, I'm going to be kind of busy, kind of dug into this, but if you have questions, put that cue up there and let me know. And I'll try to go back and search for those cues for questions. So what I want to do first is talk about photo organization. And so I'm going to kind of talk generally about photo organization. And then we're going to get specific on how do we organize in order to scan. Okay, because it's a little different process when I'm thinking it through. Organizing in general, just to kind of have our photos organized is one process, but then also organizing to scan is a little different process that we're going to tweak just a teeny bit. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the overhead camera, and we're going to just take a look at something that might look familiar if you are into the pop system, if you've watched some of my pop videos that have been up on YouTube for quite a while. And these are photo organization tips, and they're for printed photos. Okay. There's a whole flow chart for printed photos. And then there's photo organization tips for digital photos. So I'm not going to get into digital, but I wanted to just show you, we have that. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. And then, do you guys remember this? I found this in my notes. I'm like, oh yeah, I drew that, 3 years ago, I think, when I was trying to give you an idea, a visual on what do we do with all our photos? What do we do? So let's talk quickly and in general about, stacks of photos that we have. Now, this, of course, as I just mentioned, this is about printed photos. Printed photos. So the first thing I want you to do is gather everything in one place. So as you recall, I've shared that right now. So not only do you want to gather everything in one place, but you also, this is my 2003 box. It needs some attention. It needs some love, but it all is in one place. It's in one place. Now, the Power Sort boxes, this is an old one that's like double wide. It's super heavy too. But the new ones are just like half. Okay, those are the ones I just showed you that fit in the Kallax cubes. Okay, so it's all in one place. But now what I need to do is figure out how am I going to deal with those 2003 photos. So you do need to kind of create a timeline, especially if you have not just one box, but say 15 boxes. If you have an armoire full, right? If you have, drawers and cubbies and boxes and bins and, that you've inherited, you've got to get them all in one place. And then you've got to create some sort of a timeline. Now, one of the things I love to do is use Post-it notes. And I'm going to kind of share a little bit more about these Post-it notes in just a minute. But that's how I like to create a timeline. So you're going to need a place to have some space. So of course I'm going to do a very mini version because I don't have that much space to share with my camera. But the best would be if you have a floor that nobody's going to walk on, if you have a bed, a spare bed, if you have some 6-foot tables, of course, that's awesome, or some desk space or a dining room table. So, when you have that, you're going to need that space to create your timelines. Then you can start sorting by however you need to. Is it by decade, by year, by season, by month? What makes sense to you? If there are some photos that are so far gone that you have no idea, but you can tell we're all wearing winter coats, it must be winter. You can even, go like that, or by haircuts, or by, how many teeth your kids have, all those things. You can get some general ideas of how to sort. Then once you get through that big process, so we're going to say you've already done that, then you need to do your ABCs. Okay. And your ABCs are is it going to go into an album? So the first cut, right? The first cut, you've got all your photos. And the first cut is it album worthy? Is your photo album worthy, first of all? And then if it is album worthy, remember the whole pop system is talking about big moments, theme, library memories. Those are ways you can scrapbook. And you get to pick what works for you. I'm not telling you how to do that. I'm not telling you the best way to do that. I'm just saying, here's some ideas. If it's not going to go into an album, then where does it go? Does it go, is it really like, it's not even worth keeping. So I'm going to toss it. Do I want to archive it? Is it a photo that has maybe significance? I get a lot of questions about archiving versus album worthy. Archiving means it has some significant importance. Like, it's not one that you want to throw away necessarily, but it's not going to go into an album. Okay. And there's a little, that's kind of your own personal thing. Now, once we start scanning, I can see that those photos then, you've archived them as a scanned photo. So you could actually toss the original if you need to. But an archived photo might also be, you did a family portrait series with your family, and maybe you only want to put one of those in your album, and you're going to archive the others because you don't need, 6 pictures of the same pose, but you bought them all. So, you're not going to want to toss those. That's what I'm saying. This is another really important category, which is, they're great photos, but they're not something you need. So you can give them to family or friends. I keep, an active little pod of photos that whenever I come across photos, like duplicates especially, whenever I come across photos that I go, these are perfect for my husband's family. They'd love to see these photos because I was always the one taking all the photos. They took less. So I just keep a little file. And then whenever we get together, I go, hey, here's a whole group of photos. They love going through them because some of these photos they've not seen for years. So the same thing, family or friends, just keep a pile for them. Then once you've got those situated, if they are album worthy, then you get to decide how to scrapbook those. Now today, I'm not going to get into that because I have the whole pop series on that. And that's what we talk about also in the pop membership group is, how does that process evolve and change over time? And as we change the way we scrapbook or as the way we change the way we take photos, that can change. The main thing I want to point out, which has always been the biggest influence for me, and this came from Stacy Julian, who came up with the whole Library of Memories philosophy, is that the idea when I learned how to scrapbook was you have to put every photo into an album. You got to do it. You just got to, because that's your life. You've got to put every photo into an album. And if you didn't make an album for your family, and if you didn't make an album for your daughter and your son and, this and that and everything, then you weren't a good record keeper or scrapbooker or whatever you want to call it. And it was exhausting, and it just felt overwhelming. And so when Stacy came up with this whole idea that you can do something with some of your photos, and you don't have to scrapbook chronologically, you can scrapbook depending on what brings you joy, how you want to represent your life story. That was so freeing. And I've held on to that. I've tweaked it. I've kind of made it, something that works for me. And I love reading the comments in the pop group that say, Lauren, thank you for all these forms and handouts. And I don't really do it quite the way you do, but I do like doing it, my own way. And this has helped me clarify my own process. And that's the best part of it, right? Is clarifying your own process, what works for you. Okay, so what do we do then? We've got our ABCs, right? So is it something that we want to keep? Here's the Post-its. Pink Post-it, toss. I'm going to toss those. Green, I'm going to give those away. Family or friends. Blue might be something that I want to archive. Okay, so you can do it. It can be as simple as just creating Post-it categories, putting them in a place. I'm going to see if that still looks like you can see it here. Putting those in a place that, in your space, you're going to be able to have a little room to sort those, right? And it's got to have a space that you can put a photo, right? Okay. Or is it album worthy? And like I said, this would be the original process to say, oh, is that photo going to be a theme photo? Is it going to be a big moments photo? Or is it going to go into the library memories? Is it a person I love? Is it, a place we go? What is it? Is it more of a photo that I want to kind of capture across time? So those are the 3 categories if it is album worthy, right? But today, so that's the general ABC. So C is toss. A is album worthy. And so is it going to go into one of these 3 categories? And then B is, are we going to just archive it? And I guess this is a different kind of archiving, right? When we give away, or it could be kind of thought of toss as well. Okay, but today what we're going to do is talk a little bit, instead of this broad category of these 3, we're going to talk about how do we organize for scanning, because it's a little different process. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a stack of your photos. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of take you through, this is real time, take you through a stack of my photos, how I'm going to get these photos ready to scan. Then we're going to open my scanner, and we're going to get it set up, and we're going to scan our first batch. That's the plan. Okay, let's cross your fingers. So what you're going to need is, if you want to do this, is you're going to need a stack of your own photos. You're going to need some Post-its, because you're going to want to categorize just a teeny bit when you're scanning. And you may need some photo folders, because this also, if you don't get to all your scanning right away, of course, this is the way I like to keep my photos ready for the project. Okay, so what we're going to do, and we're going to keep these ideas over here in mind. So I'm going to have a pile that if I come across a photo, I'm just going to keep these over here on the side that I don't want, I'm going to toss it. And if it's something that I want to archive, I'll keep that over there as well. And then if it's a giveaway, I'll put it there. Okay. And sometimes, here's the thing, it might need one or more, it might need a second pass. So the other thing I have here is just a set of plain white Post-its. And this is going to help me. And of course we can use photo folders as well too. But this is going to kind of help me just from February. I just took some February photos here. Now, when you're scanning, what I want you to think of, instead of larger themes like what we were talking about here, I want you to think of groups. If you were to group these photos that you're going to run through your scanner together, what would that group be? And we're not talking minor groups, because it'll get too overwhelming, but major groups. So the more, unless you have all the time in the world, then you can do tiny little groups. So what I mean by that is big categories. So kind of, and I was doing this with my friend Maria. What we were noticing is that there are kind of general photos that you take during the month. Okay. So I'm going to write down here, these are general. And this is for February 03. Okay. And then in February, I also know that there's Valentine's. Woo, ran out of room. And then in February, I also know one of my big moments, one of our big things is Adam's birthday. Okay, so for the month that you have your photos, you could think ahead, or you can wait as you're going through this and, kind of make your categories as you're going through this and see, And depending on how many photos end up here, you know, this might go in with this group. But let's just keep it separate for now. I may want to have, you know, a stack of photos depending on how many pictures I took of the kids for Valentine's. Okay, so now I've got my stack of photos and I'm going to start sorting. So this is, let me see if I have enough room here. Try to get that. There we go. I think that'll work. So this is general, general, and general, and this is general. This was Valentine's. Duplicate. Okay, so duplicates for me, because I am digitizing these photos, and because now this is where it gets a little tricky. You can digitize and then look at reprinting it and making your photo a little better. Okay, or you can go, no, I really like the quality of this photo, and I do think that this photo is going to end up 2 places. So this is a little bit of a tricky part right here, is what do you do with that duplicate? So for now, you know, and that also depends on, in your Pop Planner, you can see, have I already created, like if this was going to be an Adam Ellen photo, maybe this would be something I'd want to put in the album, or maybe I've already scrapped it. Okay, so or you can also actually, now that I'm kind of thinking out loud, maybe I want to say this is for scanning, but you know, I might want to keep this duplicate, or maybe we just make a pile. We can just make a pile. Let's just do that. Make a pile of the duplicates, and then haven't really thought dupes. And then we could go through. Now, if it's not a great photo, I'm not going to keep the duplicate of that. And then after, I think for me, what I would do, I'm going to say these are duplicates. Like this is the cutest picture. Okay, it's Ellen and Adam, and they're hugging and acting like they like each other. So I'm going to put that in my duplicate file. I'm going to have to find a little more room here, huh? I'm going to put these over here. Make a little more room. And then from my duplicates, I may go through this. That's how I'm going to do it. And go, okay, this one might be in, you know, people we love, siblings, right? But again, we're really working on scanning, organizing for scanning right now. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time deciding on these photos. Okay, so this one, so that's a duplicate. This one, that's a duplicate. But this one is not that great. I'm going to just put that in the toss pile. Okay, that's all Valentine's. This is general, and this one's general, but that's not a great. Oh, actually, that's a family photo, so that's going to go in my giveaway pile. I'm going to put that right there. That might be something that Grandma wants because they're doing nails together. And look at this. I have how many? Do you guys have this? 4 of those. Okay, I do not need 4 of those photos. So those are going to go in my toss pile. Let me just make sure you guys know that's my toss pile over here. And I just had this photo. So this is a duplicate. Okay. And then again, 3 of these, really? So that one can go in my toss pile. Then these are duplicates. Those go in my toss. This is a duplicate, but that's Audrey. I have too many of these. I don't know. I must have been getting triplicates. This one was a duplicate. I think this was similar. Yep, that's the same. So these are all extra, extra, extra. Okay, so I know I'm not going to need that many. So those can go over there for now. This is general. This one, just too dark. That's not even a good photo. I'm not going to take that. This one, not either. This again, Sorry, I'm not showing you. These are the same ones over here. I think now I have 6 of that same photograph. I don't know why. I'm going to give one of those and put one in here, one of these, and give one away. And now we're coming across to Adam's birthday party. So now I can start putting this. This is a duplicate. This is that. I don't need more than one of those because that's just going to go in Adam's album. That one. This one. That could go to family and friends. I don't need the duplicate. There's Adam. I don't need the duplicate. This is Audrey. I don't need the duplicate. Do you see? I'm already going through and getting rid of so many in my toss pile. Okay. So same kind of thing here. I'm going to try to do this even quicker. That's a duplicate. This is just a terrible photo. This is not a great photo. This one's okay. That's a duplicate. I'd leave that. And then we're back to Valentine's and duplicates. Okay, so that one's super cute. That one's blurry. That one maybe I can edit. Okay, so I do have a lot of Valentines here, which is kind of fun. So I may want to have a file that says Valentine's. This is Audrey at Valentine. This is Audrey. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of quickly thumb through a few more, and let me just give you an idea. So this is party. That's family. I'm going to give that to family. And you know what? I was just at a family funeral for a fellow, and I just saw it. So this is his daughter and her husband, and she would absolutely love these photos. So that is, now I can send her a little card and say, wow, look at what I just found. Isn't that awesome? I love it. Love it. In fact, I can digitize it and even just send it right off to her. Okay. So getting just a few of these last birthday photos in here. Trying to just, don't we have some duplicates. And I'm not getting too picky about the quality or which one's best, because I feel like that can be done better on a screen when I have time relaxing than, just sitting around right now going, okay, out of these two, which one? No, I'm going to scan them, digitize them, and then make that choice. Okay, so these are just some different ones. Okay, so these are kind of miscellaneous other photos. I think that was birthday. These actually feel like they were printed photos, so I'm going to have to look in. These might already be digital, which is why they feel that way. Okay, and that's Adam's birthday. So I'm going to set those other ones aside. So now what I've done is taken that big stack that I just did, and I've organized it for scanning purposes. And when I take you through the scanning process, what you'll see is that the program is going to ask you to name the group of photos that you're putting in the feeder. So that's why I think the first step, really, you've got to kind of go through, because you're not going to want to scan all the doubles, right? You don't want to spend time doing that, because then you're going to have to spend all the time deleting. But what you want to do is get some general broad categories. So right now I can take my duplicates and I can set those aside. Okay. I'm just going to say these are duplicates, set those aside. And I can take all my extras that I said, nope, I don't need those. I can set those aside. Those are either going to get tossed. I may take one other look just to make sure that, you know, I don't need any of those. I've got my giveaways. I can move those into another space. Okay. And that's a thing too. If you're using Post-its, I always put the sticky part of the Post-it on the back side of the photo and then just fold it over, and it kind of helps group that little group of photos together. Just a little tip. And then now what I have left are 3 piles for scanning. So what I could do, say right now, I've got Adam's birthday. And so all these I want to run through the scanner, but now I can also put those in a folder and put up here Adam's birthday 2003. Okay, and those are ready. Then I've got my next group. This is Valentine's 2003, and then this is ready. And then I've got my general February. So this is just going to be called February 2003. Okay. So that's a quick overview of how to take your huge box, right? Your bigger box, and get things ready for scanning. So instead of that huge pile I first showed you, this is all I've got ready to scan, because we don't want to take one over, you know, one, what do I want to call it? Like overcompensated supply of photos and create a digital oversupply of photos, right? You want to spend just a little bit of time before. Okay, any questions on that process so far? And I see Jean Marie. Yeah, the folders. Okay. Every time I get, so I have been working on trying to find a way to mass produce these folders, and I'm still working on it. I do have them for sale as the printer I found keeps supplying them to me, but I've had a little bit of some quality issues. So we're out of stock right now. I've sold out, but I'm hoping to get some more in by the end of this week, where you can just buy them in packs of 50. I also have, if you go to my website at craftssomejoy.com, I have a download where you can DIY. You can do it yourself and create your own folders. Okay, so these are photo folders. They're my favorite thing. I, developed this, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and I've never looked back. This is how I organize all my photos. Okay. All right. So let me just check really quickly if we have any more questions. Any other questions? Okay, I think we're good. All right, my friends. So I'm going to try something new. This is a brand new thing. Let's see if it works. Hello, it's a new view. So I just upgraded my computer and my streaming software. And I can use my phone. So that's what you're seeing right now. This is a different view. So instead of overhead, this is now you're going to see a front view. So we'll see how this works. I'm going to kind of test this out a little bit, but you can see it. I switched it to follow me around. I don't know if I like that. It might kind of make us a little dizzy following it. But what I wanted to share with you is the box. I'm going to put my archive sticker over here and bring in to view the box just again. I'm going to try to bring this up. And you're going to see a little bit behind the scenes again too. You can see my peg wall. That's what I shared. So this is me looking at the computer and my wall. Okay, so are you guys ready? We're going to dig in to this scanner. All right, and welcome everybody who also just kind of hopped on late. New view, Sandy said. Yep. So here we go. All right. Oh, and I think I may have forgotten something. Well, like I said, if I forgot something, this is real time. We're gonna open the box. Let's see what we get in. What we get in the box. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the fast photo. And does anybody else have their box still not open? I remember a few of you said that you bought it and you got it for Christmas and you still haven't opened it. So today's the day. Let's see what we get inside the box. Okay. So a lot of cords. We've got the power cord and we've got our cable, which is what we're going to attach. And we've got our styrofoam. So I'm just going to take this out. Oh, this is that special. Remember we were talking about this. This is that special folder for photos, right? Like if you have delicate photos, this is the folder that you can put in those delicate photos in and then run it through the scanner. But, we had a really good conversation in the pop group about this. And that is, those delicate photos probably are best scanned on a flatbed. Okay, so we will kind of see about that. Those, like a tintype or something like that, the really delicate photos. Okay, so we've got all these, and then now we're going to pull out. Oh, I just broke that. Let me see if I can get this guy out. Okay. And you guys, the box is open. So we have some instructions, and I'm going to take this guy out. Got the more styrofoam, and this is it. Ta-da! Here's the scanner. So you can see it's not that big, right? It's not super huge. Okay, so here we have it. So now that I've kind of got the box opening done, I think I might be able to switch back to my overhead and kind of show you, because it's a little steadier camera, and then show you. We're going to just kind of undo the tape and different things. So you're going to want to do that. Let me just grab something to stick all these things on. Yeah. Sandy says, yes, that's the magic envelope. Okay, so we're going to want to take all these off. And there's a lot. Looks like there's something else. Oh, probably don't want that in there, right? And that. Oh, I see it. Yep. All right. So everywhere you see blue, you're going to want to take that blue off. Okay. So this is the tray, the feeding tray. And okay, I'm pretty sure somehow this goes down. Oh, it's stuck, that's why. Okay. Okay, so here's some more blue tape in the back, and that's how it closes up. Now, I do want to mention we were having, like I said, we were having a scanning conversation in the last pop group. And Donna Hildebrand said, there is an Etsy gal who makes beautiful covers for this. And I totally forgot to go order one. But you can see, even though this is now closed, it would be really nice to have a cover. And dust is not your friend when you scan photos. So I would look into that. Find, go to Etsy and see someone who makes covers for your electronics. The folks, they've got covers for the Silhouette, the Cricut, all the different things. And I know that they have them for the scanners as well. Okay, so that's now what this baby looks like. Woo! Huh. And if anybody knows someone, be sure to put it in the chat. And it's cute, isn't it? Super cute. So that's what our goal is. So now we're going to actually hook it up. So, yes, Sue, we're opening it up live. We are. This is it from start to finish. So I want you to be able to do this if you decide to create some scanned photos as well. And if you're not going to do that, maybe just the first part, what we just got through for organizing your photos, maybe, just that part will help. So, whatever works for you. Okay. So this is our power cord. We're going to need to take this apart. Okay. And it's a two-part. So this is the cord that goes in to here. And then this is the part that's going to go into your machine. And this is what goes into the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. If I can get it. These new plugs in here are so tricky. Oh, there it goes. All right. So that's plugged in, and then it goes into the back, I'm sure. Yep. Right here. Okay, so now we've supplied power to the machine. Now we want to get the machine to talk to my computer. Okay, so that's what this cord is for. And so I'm going to untwist this as well. And there we go. And then you can see this cord has a place to plug into the back right here. Okay, so that's going to go in there. And this one is going to plug into my computer. Okay, so we're going to turn this guy around. And I'm going to plug this into, I have a USB port that's plugged into my laptop. There we go. And now we're going to get that set up, and then we're going to turn it on. And where's the power button? Oh, it's here. Okay. So now we have power, friends. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. So, good question, Gwen. Why am I wanting to scan photos I already printed? So these are film photos, and part of my backup plan, my personal backup plan, is to get all of my film photos into digital format. Okay, so that's my personal plan. I want to have a backup of these digital photos. The other thing, as I was going through, what I was realizing is I'm so used to correcting and cropping and editing my photos before, to me, there's a lot of investment in putting photos into an album, right? The paper, the adhesive, the album itself. If it's not a great photo, I want to edit it. And so the best way to edit is to scan it, and then I would print it at home. This was back this was back in the day where you take your roll of film, you never knew what you had, and you take your roll of film and go to get it developed. And that's why I've made a conscious choice to take those photos and have them archived digitally so that I can edit them and print the ones better, and we'll take a look at that as we kind of go through the process. We'll take a look, how do these match up, to the photos that I have printed on by film. And once again, this is a quick, when you see how quick this baby goes, oh my goodness. It's amazing how fast it scans photos. And negative scanning, of course, is one of your better options. If it's something, a heritage or a very archival, use the Forever service or get a negative scanner. This is quick, easy, fast. And as you can see, when we get it set up, I think you'll see that it's pretty user friendly. Okay. So hopefully that answered your question. Okay. So, all right. What I'm going to do is now, what I need to do is have my computer talk to my have the scanner talk to my computer. Okay. So, what you need to do is have a driver to do that. And this is the Fast Photo 680W. So I'm Googling Epson driver Fast Photo 680W, and I'm looking for the result that I get, and I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to do a share screen here. Okay. So as I mentioned, I Googled, and you want the one that's actually from Epson. You don't want to click on some other thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do, so this is the Epson Fast Photo 680W. And like I said, I just Googled driver or Epson Fast Photo 680W driver. That's what you want to find. Okay. And then it already detects that my operating system. See how it says detected? So if you are on a Windows-based system, hopefully it will show you, it'll detect where you have your scanner plugged into, what operating system you're on, and then you need to download. So it says drivers and utilities combo package. So that's what I'm going to download. Okay. So I know this might be, kind of second nature to a lot of you, but like I said, I did decide to go through the entire process with you so you can see it start to finish. Okay. So if you've already done this, you can always just, scan or sort your own photos while you're waiting. Okay. So I'm going to go to downloads, and I think is that it? Oh yeah, FF680W Lite. So I'm going to double click on that. And it's bringing up the Epson installer. Okay, I think I might have to double click on that too. Yep, here we go. Epson installer is an app downloaded. Do you want to open it? I sure do, because I need this software on my computer. Okay. It's going to ask for the security information for my computer and always a licensing agreement. So let's see. If you want that set up. Okay. So we're just going to keep going, let it do its thing. Oh, and you can see you can connect via the network or via the USB cable. Since I already have my cable plugged in, let's just do that. That way I won't, you know, make sure that I'm not going to drop the connection. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Installation scanner driver. Okay, so I'm going to install that. A lot of, brand new setup. Now I could have done this, but then I know like when I was helping my friend Maria, she was stuck. She's like, I don't know what to do, Lauren. And she hadn't downloaded the driver. So I thought, okay, let's just do that together. So you can see this process as well. Okay, wow, here we go. Let me, I'm going to let that go for a second. Let me come back and just see the chat. Okay, so Cindy says, yes, she's doing it with me. Awesome. Okay. So if this does not scan negatives and slides, what is the best scanner for that? So there's a couple. If you want a quick, easy, there's a Kodak scanner, and I have that linked on my favorite things page as well. If you want the, boy, I didn't think this was going to take so long, friends. I'm sorry about that. If you want, let me see if I can find it really quick for you. I'm going to, hold on. I think it's here. This is my Amazon store. I'm pretty sure I put it here. If not, I'll show you. I'll show you the ones that I bought. Let's see. Are we getting there? I have a lot of things on this list, don't I? Oh dear. Okay. So I don't see the scanner here. All right. Let me go to another. I think this is the right one. No, this one. Okay. So this is my website. And I did actually do a little update here, shop my favorite things on Amazon. And the navigation, because people were like, where's your Amazon stuff? So now it's actually in the navigation. I put the word Amazon. So if you click this pink button, it goes right to where we just were. But this is my how I used to have it set up on my previous website with all the different Amazon links. But if you kind of keep scrolling down, this has a lot more right here. Here it is, the Plus Tech. When I was doing my research, I do have this scanner, and it is amazing and it is complicated. So if you are interested in your best results for scanning negatives, this is the high-end scanner I would recommend, the Plus Tech Optic Film 8200 IAI. My husband and I started using it, and it is time consuming because just learning the application, learning the software for it was complicated. And I'm kind of a little on the techie side. This is the one that is my second choice, the Kodak Slide and Scan Film and Slide Scanner. And this, you just kind of push the negative through and it saves it onto a USB. It is pretty good. It is pretty good. It is a lot faster than the Plus Tech that I just showed you. But it does not have near the editing capabilities, I would say. But it's also, I think, about a fifth of the cost. So those are the two that I recommend: the Kodak or the Plustek for um, for scanning negatives only. Okay. All right. So let's go back to um, setup is complete. Awesome. Let me see. Oh, I'm not taking you with the scanner in use is unavailable. Okay. So let me actually, let me see if I can. Okay. This is an important, hang on. Do you guys see that? Okay. Yes. 1 second. Let me go back to Finder and then, oh, where did that window go? Let me see. Okay. And this is notifications from, you can always switch that, but let me see where there it is. Okay. Epson Fast Photo Setup. So this is important because what you're going to need to know is where do you want the scanner to put your photos. Okay. And this is when I was doing this with my friend Maria, we really had to kind of go in here and figure this out a bit. So right now it says my scanned photos will be saved in this folder. Users, Lauren Hines, pictures, fast photo. Well, I don't want it to go into fast photos. What that doesn't, I mean, yeah, it's kind of descriptive, but not really. So what I want to change this to is to, um, uh, hold on, fast photo. I want to change this to scanned photos. Okay. Photos. Photos. Let me spell correctly. Okay. And I think in the file prefix name and file name prefix. Okay, let me see all settings. I want to make sure that it is going in the right place. Okay, so I think this is actually, yeah, I don't want it to say fast photo. I want it to go, okay, cancel. I think what I'm going to have to do is continue here. I'm going to come back to that in just a second, but this is like more of the setup, the photo setup. And this is another really important question in the setup process that it's going to ask you. So what they recommend is right here to automatically scan the original photo, but then apply the enhancements, right, from the original photo here to, you can see how it's enhanced, and create a second copy. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that on the recommended and hit continue. And then it says my setup is complete. Okay, so what I want to do, Lauren Hines pictures, fast photo. Yeah. Okay, so it did not change this extension right here into fast photo. So what I need to do is go in here and change that name. Let me see, how am I going to change that name? Open. Okay, so it is on my Mac. No, desktop. Where is it? Where did it go? Applications, recents. Where is my users? Cancel. Hold on. Okay, let me open this again. So it's saying recent places. It's not letting me do a right click. Lauren Hines. Here we go. Pictures, I think. There it is. Fast photo. So you need to find where that is on your computer. Oh my goodness, I just got back. Like I said, this is real time here. Okay. And I want to rename, there we go. Scanned photos. Okay, so I did a right click on that folder and then it brought up the menu bar. So if you click on the folder, right click, rename. Okay, so that's how I did it. So now when we go back, now you see this root directory right here. Now it doesn't say fast photo, it says scanned photos. And that's what I was trying to do. I want to know the way my brain works is when I scan a photo, I want it to go into a folder called scanned photos. Now, when you see that, we're going to have subfolders as we have categorized our photos. Okay, so just hang on for that. But I wanted to make sure to get that. We're going to register. Oh, let me see. Finish and register. We're going to register later. Yeah, we don't need to do that right now. Okay. So we're back to, let's see, fast photo. Okay. To our scanning software. Okay. So now we've got our folder set up and we have these photos going where we want it to go. And now we're going to click this button that says start scanning. This is the exciting part. Okay. So it's going to bring up the dialog boxes. Now this is really important because this is what it's going to tag your photos as you scan them. Okay. So I know the year, so I'm going to put in 2003. Now, this is, remember how I had my 3 folders, right? So the 3 folders, this is going to be, I'm going to show the biggest folder I have is Adam's birthday. So this one I'm going to call Adam's birthday. Okay, so this is going to make another subfolder within that big directory that I was telling you. And you can see it. Okay, why is fast photos still in here? I'm going to have to figure that out again. See that little fast photo? That should have changed. Okay. Okay, well, I can always rename that with the picture. Okay. Let's just keep going. And then if you look at this photo here, it will tell you which way to load the photos. And then we're going to start scanning. So what I'm going to do is come back to my stream here, and then I'm going to switch over here. Okay, so we have the scanner, and I've got my group of photos that says Adam's birthday. Okay, so I have those. Actually, that's a different size. I'm going to just take that one out. I'm going to set them in the scanner just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to come over like, oh, look at that. You can see this is my streaming software. But what I want to do is go back to the screen that I just had up that said start scanning. And I'm going to click the button that says start scanning. And then we're going to see how fast this baby goes. Okay, are you ready? So I'm going to click it. Whoop, what happened? Not quite sure why it stopped. Let me see. Ta-da-da-da-da. What happened? pictures, scanned photos. Nope, not that. Huh, that's so bizarre. I don't know. Oh, it looks like it got stuck. Looks like one got stuck in there. Okay, let's try again. And I think that's the button. Let's see. Start scanning. See, this is what happens real time. So I'm not quite sure why it just decided to stop. All right. And now it's just beach balling on me. It just decided it didn't want to work. Okay. Lovely. All right, friends. So maybe this is okay. I think it's saying that it didn't like the fact that there was a photo stuck in there, but there's no photo in there that's stuck. Pull the front open. Pull the front. Okay, Sharon has done this before. Pull the front open. Oh, there. Okay, thank you. So it was because I had a photo stuck, right? Buzz. Thank you. Sharon's here. Sharon has done a bajillion photos, right, Sharon? I know. So, yep, that cleared that part. Now I still have the little buzzing me. Thank you. But why is that still has a explanation point? All right. Push your guides in at the sticker. Okay. Are you guys helping me read message above? Click scan back a photo to get the handwritten notes. Oh yes, that was another oh yeah, in the setup you want to click that, right, Sharon? So let me see what's happening here with okay, so it's not responding. I'm gonna have to force quit my fast photo, and then we're gonna see if we can open it again. Let's see. So we're gonna just take care of all of those problems right here in the beginning, right? Okay, lovely. I'm having some software issues. So, okay. I'm going to do another force quit. I think maybe it might have to do with the reason this little thing is here. Push your guides into the photo. Good job. Buzzer. Yeah, okay. But I was hoping this was just going to, sail through the first time, right? Now what is it doing? Okay, scanner is disconnected. All right. My husband always says, if all else fails, just reboot. Right. Just reboot. Just turn the whole thing off. Okay. So it looks like it cleared the things off my computer. All right, let's try it again. So now that there's no error messages, I'm going to try opening the scanning software again and see if this is actually going to, yes. Okay. So on my computer, I'm actually having to do that again, 2003. And then the month is February, and the subject is Adam's birthday. Okay. And so I'm going to, I don't think anything happened to any of those. So I'm wondering, so Sharon, do you think that, is there a trick to this part? Like, do you fan them before you? And oh, Terry says, Terry's here, yay! The first time she used hers, it got goofy. After I used, okay, it works smoothly. So let's hope that works too for me, Terry. Okay, so I'm gonna try this again, putting them right here in front, okay? And then I'm gonna hit start scanning button because I really do want you to see how fast it is. There it goes. Can we have some applause? All right. So there we have it. Okay, what I need to do is do a screen share over again so that you can see what I'm seeing now on my screen. It said 28 photos have been scanned. Do I have more photos? Now, the thing is, if I say yes, it's going to keep them in the Adam's birthday file. But we already know that's all that I have for Adam's birthday. So I'm going to say done scanning. Okay. And that's the batch for his birthday. And then before I do the next batch, I want to create another folder that says Valentine's. And so then when those folders get connected, you know, go into, I use the Photos program with Apple. These are going to already say Adam's birthday. Do you guys see how it tagged it? 2003, February, Adam's birthday. Pretty awesome, right? That was pretty fast. Okay, so let's check. I know that's the question. How is the quality? Okay, so I think I can double click. Let me see. Okay, so here's view all original, and then here's the enhanced. Oh yeah, and then there's the button that says text on the back, right? So now I think what I need to do is go into Finder and find the file that says Adam's birthday. And okay, so let me see where this is. Recents. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna have to see. I have to do a little figuring out where I've got to clean this up for myself, like where this went. Where is photos? Okay. I'm making a mess of this. Hold on. Adam's birthday. I need to find that folder. Name contains Adam's birthday. And it's not finding it. Okay. So let me see. This is users Lauren Hines. Users Lauren Hines. Pictures, February. Okay. So I think I need to, this is where it's getting a little fuzzy, but, oh, here we go. Scanned photos. Users, Lauren Hines. Okay, here we are. Pictures, scanned photos. Is it there? No. See, it didn't go, but it did go into fast photo. So I'm just going to have to come back in here and rename this to scanned photos. And then I'm going to, oh yeah. Okay. I've got to delete this one first. Rename this scanned photos. Okay. And then I've got the folder here with all of Adam's, birthday photos in it. Okay. And why did it do that again? Okay. Yes. So you can see how I am trying. I don't know why it's not letting me select. So here's all of the photos, but it's not letting me. Okay, now when I did this, at my friend Maria's, I was able to click add all of these. I was able to select all of these. Oh, let me see, show in folder. Ah, here we go. Okay, so I was in some weird view. So I'm going to select all of these photos. Okay, and now I'm going to do a right click because this is how I add it to my photo library. And you hit share and then add to photos. And if you're on a PC, you would probably do a similar thing, right click and then share it to wherever you store your photos, or you could drag and drop it. Okay, so thank you, Sharon, for for your help this morning. Okay. All right, so that's it. Anyhow, I found the folder. I've got to do a little cleaning up to find that folder easier. And then I selected all those 38 photos that we just scanned, and now they are in my Photos app. So I'm going to go to Photos. And I actually just updated my operating system. So I'm going to go to Imports, and here they are. So who was wondering what the quality looks like? There's the scanned photo. It's pretty dang good. What do you guys think? That's a pretty good. Wow. I'm impressed. Look at that. That's a great photo. So now I have those printed photos, and you can see, I hope what this is showing you is that, you know, the quick and ease that you can get into digitizing your photos. Yes, it's not going to be quite as exceptional of a quality as a film scanned photo, but these are pretty nice. These are pretty nice. There's Audrey. There's Adam. You can see some of these, I had them upside down. So probably good idea just to do a quick turnaround, but you can always edit and, you know, flip those photos. That's a quick, easy thing to do in Photos. So what do you guys think? So now what I can do is, as I was mentioning, if I want to enhance this photo, right? So let's just take this one. So easy to get in there and do some quick edits, which I couldn't do to, you know, a film printed photo. I'm going to do a quick crop. Look at that. Great. And then let me go back to adjust. And maybe I want a little brighter. I always, you know, as I mentioned, print a little brighter. I'm going to bring the contrast up just, let's see. Yep. And then I've got this photo, right, that I could print and definitely use in Adam's birthday or part of his album or part of my family book for 2003. Okay, so ta-da! There we go. Glitches and all, my friends. I'm going to come back to you. Let me see. There we have it. Whoops. Let me just take this one off of here. Don't forget free shipping, wherever that was. Okay. So, yes. And so Terry just put in there that the Epson software will keep the original and the enhanced. So you can decide which one to keep on that. And Terry also said the Epson scanner will clean up the photos and brighten them if you turn on that feature. So there's a lot of things that, I think we can still kind of play around with and figure out how to do this process even a little bit better. So I hope that was helpful, where you can actually see, how quick you can digitize a stack of photos, but also the bit about, you kind of need to get in and do the first cut yourself, do that little first bit of organizing to help you get started with the scanning process. Okay. And yeah, I should compare. But you can, maybe we'll do that next time. But you can see just from, the printed photos. Let me see if I can find that one of Adam holding the package. I don't see it in here anyhow, quickly. But, I think the digitized copies were really, really well. Okay, so let's see. Matte photos, but that would be interesting. Yeah, years ago, I tried scanning matte photos, Belinda says. Let's look at her question. And they were not very clear because of the finish. Do you think this would be clearer? So that's a great question. I'm not sure if anybody has tried them. Has anybody tried matte photos? There might be, maybe like Terry was saying, maybe there's a setting that you can turn on, and that would I would do a little Googling about that. That you could say maybe Epson has a bit of a filter to say, oh, these are matte photos, so I need to, not look for those little tiny ridges in the photo. These are glossy printed. So good question. I'm not the expert there, so I'm not sure quite how to answer it. Okay, so Cindy says she is stuck at creating the place to download them and setting up folders. So I'm not sure, Cindy, if you were able to get that figured out. But that also, like where it is in the process, also kind of depends on your computer organization as well. And there's a lot to that, I guess. So I'm not sure if I can help too much in that, but let me know if you have another question, because that was a while back. Anybody other? I know I've got all my buzzing going. Roxanne said the problem she found when scanning her negatives is that her old negatives are naturally dusty and dirty with age. So the pictures I scanned from negatives showed dust marks, hair, etc., etc. Yeah, I know. I found that too when I was going through and doing that as well. So these tended to be a little better, but definitely when I was looking into film scanning, I mean, I was even getting into getting the white gloves to wear, because if you accidentally get your thumbprint on those film, it'll scan your thumbprint if you have oil on your hands or anything like that. So I had bought some gloves, I had bought the dusters, and it's definitely a more involved process to do negative scanning, but I think you can see this was pretty quick. Okay, so that's the idea. Let's do this. I may come back next week with some more tips and tricks. So I'm going to kind of spend a little more time working with this. I think we might do one more session next week. And Cindy, if hopefully I answered your questions about renaming and so forth, or if you have questions, maybe we can have some Q&A next time, because we're already at an hour and a half today. So I know that's already a lot of time. And maybe we'll do some Q&A next week. I'll give you a little time. Watch the replay. Sometimes, you might have missed something I did. To rename a file, remember, it's the right click, rename, and you have to click on that little folder, right click, and then the rename button came up. And so hopefully going through, making mistakes, figuring it out, okay, let's turn the whole thing off. Let's, start over again. Hopefully that was all something that, helped you in this process. But before we leave, I also just want to mention the second half. This is part of it, is getting our photos organized, getting everything, to me, you guys just don't even know how happy this makes me to have these digitized already just that fast. And then being able, like I did, just with a few quick clicks, being able to edit those. And then how I love to print at home. The second part of that then is, once you've got all these photos and then you've, done a few edits, done a few clicks, and then you've printed them, how are we going to get them into a book? How do we decide on that album? So this Friday, I'm actually going to be digging in one more time into a favorite technique, which is power layouts. Anybody done power layouts? Because to me, this kind of goes hand in hand with getting your photos organized, getting them scanned, getting them, ready to go into albums. I have kind of a new system that I've been tweaking and playing with, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And it's not a traditional power layout system, but it's one that kind of combines all the things that we've been talking about: vertical organization here on Tidy Up Tuesdays, kind of taming the bulge, all those kinds of things. So I hope you can join me this Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, both here on Facebook and YouTube. And we are going to dig into power layouts. And so that's kind of another step in this process, learning how we get our photos organized. But then once they're organized, how do we quickly develop a plan for our album? To me, that's the power layout. Okay, so just want to leave you with that. Hopefully you can join in on Friday. Okay, so any other quick questions before we go today? How's that sound? That hopefully. And okay, good. Can't wait till Friday. Yes. And actually, Roxanne just had another great comment too. She said that she used to brush softly the dust off. And that is one thing I did find also. We think we've printed all the photos, but sometimes you do find lost photos and negatives that maybe, that would be one advantage over printed photos. But the other thing is, once you have an idea of what photos that you've scanned, and like say it's I still have all my negatives to these photos. What I'm doing is choosing a process that I know I can keep up with and that I can continue. So that's why I went to scanning the photos, because it's so much faster. But I can always fall back on the negatives, right? You can always fall back and go in there. Yeah. All right. So, okay, good. Oh, and Terry answered some questions. Thank you, Terry. Oh, okay. Oh, there were some more questions. Cindy had a question. in the settings, it asks 300, 600, 1200 DPI, right? Good question. And Terry said, yeah, 300 is okay for 4x6, but you're going to want to go up to 600 if you want to enlarge and do that. Okay, so, and remember, if you're going from 300 to 600, you really have to know your system, right? Like how much storage do you have? Now, my photos, those are, here's the other maintenance issue. I do want to remind you of this. Once I've added those scanned photos to my iCloud, to my photos library. Okay, so I've taken them. Right now, let's talk about the flow. It's going from the scanner to my computer in a file folder. What I did is I took all those photos out of that file folder and put them into my photo software, which is Photos, the native photo organization on Apple computers. Some people, if you're on a PC, you might use Google, you might use Historian, you might use different programs. You do not need to keep both of those, because if you keep all the folders that you scan and put those photos into on your computer disk space will fill up. So my photos, we keep photos, we pay for cloud storage. And so now that I have moved my Adam's birthday photos into Photos, I'm going to go delete that folder. Okay, very important. Hope you remember that. So that's another thing too, your storage capacity. That's a great talk about 300, 600 DPI. 1200 would be definitely for something like that you're going to want to blow up really big. But I would definitely stay within the 300, 600. Most of the time, a 300 is a great quality, like Terry says, for a 4x6. So I appreciate your support and help for answering those awesome questions. Okay. Phew. That was it. Okay. So Lisa, I know some more questions came up, how to organize them in your Apple Photos folder. So I've done some of that digital. I actually talked a lot about digital organization in my POP membership group. We spent several meetings on that. And that really is like, so if you want to get into the nitty gritty of all of that, I do recommend becoming a member of the POP group, my POP member area, POP Live. All of the past videos are there for you to watch. There's also, fun downloads. We do sketches every month. It's a great community to be part of. And there's a lot of detail we went into a lot of detail about photo organization and digital photo organization. So that's kind of the group that I do the nitty gritty in. Okay. So, all right. I think I better stop. I think I better just pull the plug there. And I will be, yes. And Terry says, back up, always. So let's answer some more questions next week. I think I'm going to give you a chance to let this digest a little bit, see where you get stuck. Let me know your questions. Leave them in the comments. Okay. Leave them in the comments, because if you don't, I cannot answer them, but we will answer them next week. And then hopefully we can talk about some more techniques and what I've learned a little bit more about, going through this process. Okay. And then don't forget Friday. Yes. See you on Friday. Friday, we're going to dig into power layouts, which I think you'll also enjoy as another really good way to get your handle on organizing for albums. Okay, friends. Whew. For those of you who watch the replay, let me know. I'd love to hear your comments, even if you are watching on replay. So please do leave those comments and questions for me. And until Friday, I hope you take some time to craft your joy. And thank you again, if you've enjoyed the content, for sharing your gratitude with a thumbs up or a like. Thanks so much, friends. I appreciate it. Bye for now.